In the realm of dystopian science fiction, a character archetype emerges with alarming regularity: the isolationist. This figure, celebrated for their fierce independence in the face of societal collapse, embodies an extreme form of self-reliance that, upon closer inspection, reveals significant red flags. The most striking of these is their toxic level of self-reliance, a trait that, while seemingly advantageous in a post-apocalyptic world, harbors underlying psychological implications that merit a deeper analysis. The isolationist's extreme self-reliance is not merely a survival tactic. It is a fundamental worldview that colors their interactions with the remnants of humanity. This behavior is rooted in a deep-seated mistrust of others, a belief that others are inherently unreliable or potential threats. This mistrust is often justified within the narrative by past betrayals or the general collapse of societal norms. However, it leads to a life of solitude and unnecessary risks, as the isolationist refuses assistance even when collaboration would clearly be beneficial. This reliance on oneself to the exclusion of all others does not showcase strength, but rather betrays a profound fear of vulnerability and a deep-seated belief in the futility of collective action. For example, in Cormac McCarthy's The Road, the protagonist and his son navigate a bleak, post-apocalyptic landscape. While the father exhibits a form of protective isolationism, his mistrust of others and insistence on self-reliance are portrayed as necessary for survival. Yet, this approach results in missed opportunities for aid and community, reinforcing the narrative that trust and cooperation are luxuries that cannot be afforded in such a world. Similarly, in The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, the protagonist Lauren Olamina displays a nuanced form of isolationism. Her initial distrust and self-reliance evolve as she recognizes the necessity of community for survival, offering a counter-narrative to the typical glorification of the isolationist. Why does this matter? The glorification of the isolationist in dystopian narratives reflects and potentially exacerbates societal tendencies towards individualism and distrust of collective action. In a world increasingly characterized by global challenges that require cooperation, such as climate change, pandemics, and social inequality, the celebration of toxic self-reliance undermines the importance of community and mutual aid. By presenting isolation and mistrust as not only viable but superior survival strategies, these narratives subtly endorse problematic behaviors and attitudes that could hinder collective efforts to address real-world challenges. The real-world implications of this behavior are significant. In an era where social media and technology can already foster isolation and division, the glorification of the isolationist archetype may reinforce a cultural narrative that valorizes individual achievement and self-reliance at the expense of community and collaboration. This can lead to a diminished sense of social responsibility and a reluctance to engage in collective action, even when such action is clearly in the individual's best interest. The result is a society less able to come together to face common threats, mirroring the dystopian worlds from which the isolationist emerges. In conclusion, while the isolationist may at first appear to be a paragon of survival in the face of societal collapse, a closer examination reveals a troubling endorsement of toxic self-reliance. By consistently portraying extreme individualism as the most effective survival strategy, dystopian narratives risk glorifying behaviors and attitudes that are detrimental to the fabric of community and collective action in the real world. It is crucial to recognize and critically engage with these character archetypes, exploring the implications of their behaviors and the narratives that surround them. In doing so, we can begin to question: in our efforts to prepare for the worst, are we inadvertently undermining our best chance at survival, each other? Character psychology is fascinating, and sometimes our favorite characters exhibit behaviors we'd never tolerate in real life. What do you think about this analysis? Are there other characters with red flags I should cover? Let me know in the comments. Your suggestions help shape future videos.